What's up? This is The View from the Legacy View comic book series, and this is Chill in the Green Box. And today, we got a cosplayer who can't be stopped, man. He got more cosplay costumes than your girlfriend has shoes on her closet. We got Knightmage on the show today. He's here to discuss, everything from how he got into cosplaying to charity events to, just getting on Steve Harvey's nerves. Yes, getting on Steve Harvey's nerves. So, sit back, recline, like, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff, and watch Chill in the Green Box, the special interview with Knightmage. I'm out.
All right. Welcome back to the hood. This is Chill in the Green Box with Specks, Thompson, and The View. And today, we got another cosplayer on the show. We want to interview cosplayers, and we got another one that I seen on Facebook a long time ago. Then not realize what I was watching, and now I see him popping up everywhere. So today we got Knightmage, man. How you doing?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. For people who are not familiar with you, give them a little brief introduction who you are and what you do.
Yeah. So I'm Micheal Wilson, but I also go by Knightmage. I'm a professional cosplayer. I'm also a deputy sheriff. That's the career. The cosplaying is pretty much my that's my passion. I've been doing it since 2012, and it's kind of already said it's been my passion.
All right, that's cool. That's cool. All right, we'll get into that later on the show, more in depth.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure where you're from or where you're located though. But when you grew up or
I'm
now,
I'm over in
you
Ohio.
Ohio.
Eh, yeah.
So I
Listen,
so are
there's nothing Ohio. Nothing.
well so have you seen when you're traveling around the green electrical boxes, in the neighborhoods and whatnot?
It's not like that. I mean, oh my God. Yeah. No, I'm from Youngstown, Ohio. So born and raised in Cleveland, and I
Mhm.
live in Youngstown now.
Okay, okay. So like back in the day when I was growing up, we had these green electrical boxes in the neighborhoods, and we used to hang out and chill around it. Had anybody ever told you that, or you seen the memes about it?
No, what is
Um,
this?
so uh, it's a small green electrical box that normally sits either like in the beginning of neighborhoods or like depending how old neighborhood it is, like every five houses it just sits there. And I mean, I just thought it was a normal thing growing up, but doing this show, I realized that some people was not allowed on them because they're electrical boxes, and parents like don't play on them. And two, there was a bus stop typically for the kids. So like when we like go to school, we all meet up there, so the bus pick us up. And I guess in turn, when we try to hang out, go outside with our friends, we meet there anyway because we're so used to meeting there in morning time. So
I,
like
I,
so
yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I've never heard of that.
Wow, it's so many memes. Like it's a meme recently. Somebody recreated one with wood and put it put it in a museum. Matter of fact, let me see can I pull one up. That's funny. Yeah, that's funny. You never seen one.
Well,
All
wait,
this all this.
where are you from?
I'm from Georgia.
Georgia. Okay. Well, maybe it's more prevalent down south. I don't
I don't know.
know.
I thought you were seeing one in Cleveland. Let's see. Let me see can I pull one up. But anyway, this show is uh based off that concept and whatnot because I've been on a lot of podcasts and whatnot, and creators get on and talk like 2 hours about what they got going on and never giving people a reason why to support them or anything.
Yeah.
So I developed my show so people learn more about the creator and find a reason to support them past what they doing at that one particular time. So
Okay. I
I
dig it.
got the Google search up. I clicked something I ain't supposed to do. So let me see.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so let me screen share so you see what I'm talking about, and
Yo, I, yo,
people
algorithm
watching can
about to
see
be all
too.
messed up.
Once you see, you can be like, oh, okay. Oh, wait, no, not that. These
Oh,
right here.
okay.
You never seen
Yeah,
these?
yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, not these little scrawny ones right here, but they was there too. So like, yeah, we used to like just it'd be something more like this, sitting there, and we just all meet up and hang around them and whatnot. See, like in front of the house right here, this be like somebody's house, and we'd be right there.
So
Never seen
nah,
nobody
like
work. Never seen nobody
usually
working
when
on them
we
though.
were outside, we were like playing basketball or doing something. We weren't just hanging around electrical boxes.
See, I mean, that's a meetup spot. We won't be there like all day. You probably sit there talking chill or whatever. Then when somebody get a idea what to do, we'll migrate. But yeah,
Okay.
that's
All
that's the
right, yeah,
vibes.
I have seen them. Okay.
Okay. But yeah. But yeah. So my show's got 4 different segments, and my first segment is called Breaking It Down. Because you didn't experience that whole green box thing, you typically break down ideas, concepts, and whatnot with your friends. So I'm gonna break your brain down with some icebreaker questions so people know more about you.
All right.
All right. So are you so in the your cartoon watching stuff? Are you more like the 3D animation stuff or the 2D?
You know what? A little bit of both. It depends on the style. So I mean, I'm an older head, so like old generation cartoons, the '80s cartoons. That's kind of what I grew up with. But I've grown a great appreciation, and I'm going to throw this into it, like a lot of like the Spider Verse stuff, where they're
Okay.
really doing more dynamic stuff with animation. But then again, I love. I'm trying to think. Wow, what was the cartoon they did? It was more like 3D. It was like I think they did one Toy Story that way, didn't they?
Yeah, they're all 3D.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. Yeah. That's right. Um.
Yeah,
So
groundbreaking 3D movie.
yeah, that's right. That's right. That's what I thought. See, I was right. I was right. No, but I don't really have a preference. Um,
hmm
I honestly, it sounds cliche and stupid, but I honestly am more drawn to the story. Like the story is what draws me in. So the animation style, that doesn't really bother me, whatever it is.
Okay, okay. Um, if reincarnation was a thing out there, and you die right now, and you get reincarnated, what animal would you pick to be?
Oh damn, man. Probably uh man. So probably probably some sort of bird, like some kind of eagle or falcon, and you know, something I could travel. You know what I mean? Travel freely and just almost be more of a prey. You know, I'm
hmm
a predator. I don't want to be a prey to a lot of things, but I want to be able to just travel. So probably some sort of bird.
Okay. Any particular, or you just is it any kind?
I'm going with an eagle. I'm going to go with an eagle.
Okay, okay, okay. That sounds dope. That's dope. I just seen what I seen recently. I seen the eagle on social media pick up something like huge, and I didn't think that was that powerful. Like,
Listen, I've seen those videos where like they'll pick up little small dogs from the backyards and stuff.
oh,
I feel
well,
bad for the dogs.
hawks do that too.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely some kind of large bird. That'd be good.
Yep, yep. My last question.
That can also just poop on people too.
Yeah, I don't know about no eagle food. That might be a big old chunk. Um, um, what's the worst condiment or item that can be put on your sandwich or burger that would just make you
Oh,
not want it at all?
oh, ranch or mayonnaise. Actually,
Mayonnaise. That's me too. That's
listen,
me too.
I'm gonna
Mayonnaise.
kind of throw it out there. Like anything, it's gonna sound funny, but anything white and creamy. I don't like white creamy sauces.
Okay.
I can't do it. So yeah, like ranch, mayonnaise, mayo. Yeah, that's a big no for me.
Okay. See. Yeah. I don't know how old you is. You might be around my age or might be a little older, but I never liked mayo, tartar sauce, none of that stuff.
Right, yeah.
Um, um, but see, Undercover Brother, they gave me a trick. So like, going on a friend's house, your friends order your food, and your mom says, "Oh, you being picky." So I learned you drown it out with the hot sauce. You can stomach it a little bit.
So listen, whenever I order something and they mess it up and they put like a sauce on there like that, that's exactly what I do. I'll just put some hot sauce on it. Like if I go to Taco Bell and they put sour cream on something that I don't like, man, I'll take them hot sauce packets and just
Oh yeah, sour cream.
drown it
Never was a fan of sour cream. So yeah, you're a man of culture like me. See.
Yeah.
But
I'm
like
44 by the way, so I don't know how old you are. I'm 44.
I'm 32. So,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. See, yeah, I got a few years.
But so I maybe in middle school I start getting to ranch, and I can deal with ranch. But seizure dressing, my mom tricked me in liking that growing up. So it goes on clear because you can't see it.
I could do Caesar dressing because it's not completely white. There's a little bit of it's like an off white.
Yeah.
I can do Caesar.
Yeah, a little melanin in there somewhere, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's all I got. Hopefully, people got a good feel who you is. And I see the Spider-Man in the background, so I know you're into comics. So my next section is called the back issues. Typically, when you want to know about a character's origin story, you go into their back issues. So you want to know about, Doc Ock's origin story, you go into his back issues. So in this segment, we're going to your back issues to find out more about your origin story.
Yeah.
So, where are you from, and what do you call your hood?
So from Cleveland Heights, Ohio. That's where I was born and raised, grew up, and it's funny because I was just there not too long ago, and man, have you ever been away from home for so long, and then you go back to where you grew up, and everything just looks totally different. It feels like you're in a different universe. But anyways, that's how I felt, man. But that was my hood, Cleveland Heights.
How long until you go back?
How long until I go back again?
No, how long it took you? Like you said, you was going for a while.
It took me a few years. It took me, probably a good the first time maybe 10 years, the second time another 15 years or so. And honestly, it's not because of anything, because I'm always in Cleveland for conventions and stuff, but I just never had a chance to just detour and drive past the old neighborhood.
I did a lot of stuff in the music industry. So I toured with artists and whatnot. And one time I was in Cleveland. It was the first time I ever heard the people with the club goers was beefing with security. It was some weird thing they had going on. So we was there for an event, and it was something simple. I guess the guy was wanted to pat the guy down or just ask the guy for ID, something simple. And the guy just shot security right there in the doorway and stepped over and went in the club like nothing happened.
That sounds about right, I guess. Yeah.
I was like, man. The only thing I topped that in my on that little tour run, the only thing I topped that was Memphis. Was in the venue once again, and this time it was the cameraman. The cameraman in the club seen somebody who owed him money, went outside, I guess, to confront them. So all that stuff happened outside. We're inside. We don't know what's going on, and somebody happened to say something. We was like, for real, that's going on outside? So we like, well, the club got shut down. Something happened. And we went outside. Outside looked like a Call of Duty match. All kind of guns. People,
oh my God.
People sliding everywhere. People jumping through fences. Cars doing donuts. People shooting out the car windows. Outside the parking lot. And we just inside chilling, having a good time. But all that's going on is a whole free-for-all outside.
So basically what you're saying is don't go nowhere with you. Because
see, this is years ago. This is what is this, 2024? Yeah, that's a good about 10, 12 years ago. So you good now.
Okay.
No, I got kids and stuff now. So I'm chill. Speaking of music, are you a music lover?
I am. Good.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I honestly don't have a taste or a specific genre I like. I'm pretty eclectic when it comes to music.
Okay, what artist or song got you liking music, or back then a certain genre of music?
Honestly, and I'm gonna have to equate this to my brother, and along with my love for like comics and superheroes and stuff, is he listened to Prince. Like he loved Prince, and that was the first time like he kind of would sit me down and let me listen. I probably was too young to really be listening to Prince, but
Mm-hmm.
listening to him and just really appreciating the music. So I fell in love with Prince, and so that was my first time like really like appreciating music. So Prince grew up to be my favorite artist.
Okay.
And the same thing with the whole comic thing. I know that was a bad question, but
Mm-hmm.
watching him draw, my brother was an artist, and I would watch him draw superheroes and Ninja Turtles and stuff, and I was really fascinated with that. So um, he's the one that got me into the whole kind of geek culture stuff too.
Okay, okay. But yeah, the comic book thing was gonna be a question. So, besides um him drawing, what got you in the comics? Like a comic book or a comic related TV show?
Honestly, it was the Turtles. Like I would, I love Marvel, like just the main Marvel characters like Spider-Man, Punisher, DC, and Batman, Superman, stuff like that. But
Yeah.
it was the Turtles cartoon that really
Yeah.
made me want to dive more into the comics, and it was kind of a culture shock because he read the comics before
Oh
watching the
yeah.
cartoon, right? I
And no
watched the
murder.
right, I watched the cartoon, and so when I picked up the comics, I'm like, oh my god, like what? These aren't the turtles. They're not nice. What's happening? So, yeah, the turtles is the ones that kind of got me into it. I'm still
Okay.
a huge Turtles fan now.
So, how'd you? Well, I think my last guess, maybe two guests ago. How did he feel about how they was assassins and killed in the books and in the show that was all
Oh,
friendly and ate pizza
he
and whatnot?
listen. He was so mad. I still remember. It was like the first episode. I read the TV guide, and I just saw Ninja Turtles. It was coming on like
Hmm.
right after school, like 2:30, and I ran down. And was like, Sean, look, like Turtles. They made a cartoon. It's gonna be on. So he got excited, right? So
Hmm.
came home that day. We both sat down, and he was so mad. As soon as the first, the theme song hit and just the first little animation, he was mad. He already knew it was going to be not geared for him. Um, I loved it, and that's when he showed me the comics, and I was
Hmm.
like, oh, okay, I see why you don't really like this. But yeah, he was.
Even I can say the turtles part of mine too. Um, but growing older, it kind of blend in the timeline really when you watch what and read what. But going back and thinking about how Shredder was so involved and all that stuff. If you're a comic reader, Shredder was only there for like a couple issues and gone.
Right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
uh,
Yep.
Even me diving deeper into it, like I didn't read the old stuff. Uh, the new IDW stuff, caught my attention. I dive in and out when I can, but apparently back in the day, they was barely on Earth. They was on Earth for like maybe a volume, and after that, they was in
Yeah.
space the rest of the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally different. Totally different.
Yeah.
I really, I kind of, I fell off on it for, obviously years and stuff like that. But then when the last Ronin came out, that kind of brought me back in a little again. That was a fantastic story. I love
What's
Last
funny, speaking of that, I feel like with uh, Mandela effect of me because I feel like we already knew about their last Ronin story. Like I thought that was like something they already did already. Then it came out. Like I don't know.
You know what? Not, I mean, you saying that, I can remember, and I think it was just kind of like, just like water cooler locker room talking about, man, like if they had a big battle royal, like who would be the last turtle to survive? You know what I mean? And I do remember like having those conversations and thinking it'd probably be Michelangelo because he's the last one you would expect. And you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Until push comes to shove, he would be just the most downright vicious and just push through and stuff like that. So I was like, I can understand what you're saying because I'm pretty sure we've all had that conversation.
Yeah, yeah. They it kind of hurt my feelings. I always grew up as a Donatello fan, and
Me
like,
too. Me too. Mhm.
yeah, so he's the first one to fall every time. I'm like, man, Donatello, the smart one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so growing up, watching your brother draw, and, watching turtles, whatever, and when did you find out that you was a nerd?
Wait, who said I was a nerd?
Oh wait, wait,
What you
wait.
trying to say?
I was like, let me take the glasses off. I started to break it to you.
Um, um, I think maybe in high school, maybe
hmm
yeah, maybe high school. When the only sport I played growing up was basketball, really. So going into high school, like, while everyone else was just like really enamored watching football and sports and stuff like that. And I, I,
Would you always like similar to the size you are now?
um, yes, but no. So I would say I was always a bigger person, but I was not into like fitness or working out and nothing like that. So I was just
Okay, I'm
big
surprised
just to
they.
be, you know what I mean? I
Yeah,
was just big
yeah, I'm
just to be
surprised.
big.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't try to get you on a wrestling team or football. Anything just for
Well,
the being a big guy in
there's a good reason for that, but
general.
the high school I went to, the Lutheran East, it was a very, very, very small parochial school, and
Mhm.
we didn't even have a football team. We didn't have a football team until
What?
my senior year, right? Like
So
we had basketball, we had track, and we had soccer,
so
and
if y'all
that
had
was it.
how y'all had track with no football team?
Listen, I just went to the school, man. I don't know.
So where y'all run at?
I mean,
Where did they run
we
at?
had we had a field, but this field was for a soccer field. We just we didn't have a football team. I guess every year there was never enough people that wanted to play football. But listen, my graduating class was 17,
17 people?
17 people.
Oh yeah, y'all didn't have enough full football team.
Actually, it was actually 16. There's one girl, she didn't graduate. But
Uh,
yeah,
dang, y'all didn't have enough people even to do it. I think football with 22, so I guess y'all need at least 30.
it wasn't until my senior year that we got a football team. But I
Wow.
did wrestle. I wrestled in like in grade school, but
Mm.
it was just for fun. And honestly, I only did it because my coach, he looked like Hulk Hogan,
Uh huh.
so I thought that was kind of cool.
Okay. Okay.
I'm a huge wrestling fan too. Always have been.
Cool. Cool. Cool.
But
All right.
yeah,
All right.
going back to the question, I think high school because I was really into wrestling, really into comics and cartoons and that type of stuff. So everyone else just they weren't. They were into sports at the time and that was it. So I got picked on a lot for that. But
Okay. 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 Um. Um. Picked on. So I mean, it's only 17 people. So how they single you out?
that was just my class. I mean, there was in the whole school was probably about 150 people. But just because when I say picked on, I don't mean bullied. Honestly, I don't mean like to like pie in the face, this bully
hmm
type stuff. But kids being kids, just teasing, right?
hmm
Um, so it wasn't anything like I would say malicious or anything like traumatic or nothing like that. But definitely it was a I wasn't one of the I wasn't one of like the in crowd kids. You know what I mean?
hmm Okay. Okay.
But now, funny thing is, I always talk about like now the geeks, nerds, and stuff. Like, we're kind of the cool kids now. You know,
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
it's a weird tie this time.
So how do you this would normally be my end of my segment, but I want to transition to this question. Uh, how do you feel about the transition from what I guess you graduated early '90s?
97.
How you feel about that transition? That back then they didn't want you, now it's how
Right.
they want it. So
Right.
how you feel about that?
Um, on a personal level, I'm cool with it. And just sometimes like I've been deep into like the cosplay convention culture and stuff. Um, since 2012. So there's a part of me that wishes I would have discovered it a lot earlier in life, even though, it would have been totally different. I still kind of wish I would have found my people, you know, earlier in life. But I'm really happy with where I'm at. So I would say the transition was fine. I'm a huge advocate of the things that's happened to you shapes
Mhm.
like who you are now. And if you're happy, content with who you are now and stuff, then everything happened for a reason. So I'm good with the transition and everything that happened. That's on a personal level. On a non-personal level, I absolutely love it to think that um, the kids that maybe thought they were ostracized and just different, like I did when I was younger, now they're the ones that are feeling empowered and feeling normal and feeling, you know what I mean? So I
Mhm.
love that for them.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah, that's good. Um, I was like, I don't know. I need to copyright this term. I called it the nerd gap. So like, when you realize that you're a nerd, that's when I or other people as well fell out of I guess the nerdy stuff. And so like nerd gap would be like when you start playing sports or getting the girls or just focus on other things besides the typical nerd stuff. And you come back later on when you're grown.
Mhm.
And so like I'm in an age range that that everybody likes anime. So the Dragon Ball Z and all that stuff, I was there for. But the Naruto stuff, I literally watched the original Naruto. But Shippuden and all that, I didn't watch. So
Right.
like all that headband stuff and that love for the show, I didn't watch that. I stopped watching One Piece early. I might have finished Bleach. But it's been so long since I watched it. But then during that time, I was doing other things. And I ain't like I missed like Star Wars Clone Wars. I missed that show. I just rewatched that a couple months ago. I missed like all that stuff. So like coming back into like what brought me back into I guess this frame of mind. I always kept up with Marvel stuff, like
Mhm.
what Spider Man's doing and stuff from Wikipedia and whatnot. But what brought me back, I was on the road again, with the artist, and
So we got
the guy
shot.
was talking. Yeah, yeah, and he was like, "Take my Dragon Balls," but no, but the guy was watching uh uh that first Dragon Ball Super movie. I can't think Battle of the Gods,
Okay.
and I was like, "They still making Dragon Ball Z and stuff?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, they coming out a movie. They come out, they got a manga and all that stuff for real." And that brought me back. Then Resident F, and I'm like, okay. I start diving back into it. The manga, the Attack on Titan, getting back into the comics, and I guess I was still watching. I guess the MCU stuff. I guess that was going on, but I wasn't thinking of it. Then I think I wasn't even playing the video games. I remember 2011, 12. Some girl told me that she don't like guys that play video games, and I'm like,
Uh,
stop. I didn't stop, but like
Yeah.
I think I got in a situation, and I had to sell my PS3, so I never bought a PS4 and all that stuff. I never bought a new game system. So till like I ain't buy a game system till 2016. So like it's a good 5 years. I didn't have a system.
So
So like,
your nerd gap kind of sounds like mine, where there's gaps in things that you love to do, like
hmm
gaming, but there's a gap where you just because of life situation you didn't game, but
yeah,
you might have still kept up with like the MCU. But then there's another
mm,
gap where you started gaming again, but you stopped watching like anime. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Like
yeah,
I get it.
like like now I want a game, but I got kids and whatnot, and I went to work. Like
Right.
so funny. So almost a year from ago, because Father's Day, I got three video games. Currently, I'm looking at them right now on the floor. One of them is beaten. I beat the Star Wars one. The other one is God of War. Still haven't beat that. And Cyberpunk is still in the plastic.
Come on, man.
Yeah, just because when you get in those type of games, you want to get into, especially God of War. Like it's hard me going back there. Like, okay, so what course I was doing again? Like what I was trying to do. Well, Star Wars was easy. Uh, to me, it's more like a Dark Souls game. I just had
Yeah.
to figure out the muscle memory, and that was good. But like God of War, I'm like, oh my god, it's so much stuff. Like, what I was doing, like, what gear I was trying to get.
And that's why I haven't really gotten back into gaming, and that's why I honestly like why I haven't started a lot of anime too, because I don't have the time to devote to it. You know what I mean?
hmm
And I mean, I guess I could take the extra time I do have, which is not a lot, and do like something like start streaming. You know what I mean? At least I can try and monetize it. I can try and have it be towards something else than just me just playing. But I don't know. I don't have time. Life, man, life.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. But we're talking a lot of material that I want to keep in the segment. So the
Yeah, yeah.
next segment is called Hotkeys, which is normally the meat of the show. And people who know the show know my spiel about it. So I'm just gonna run right into my next segment. I just need this part for my caption. But all right. So um, you like I said, you're my second cosplayer and I interviewed. Um, um, and just right, you just chat with me. It sounds like kind of the same stuff happened. You start bodybuilding, and he did too. And I'm speaking of Hellspawn. I don't know if you're familiar from him or not.
Okay.
So what got first? What got you into cosplaying, or what
Halloween.
started you cosplaying?
Halloween.
Halloween.
Halloween. Loved Halloween. Just always loved dressing up. Um, and like I said, I didn't know anything about cosplay or conventions. I just like Halloween and dressing up. So in 2012, I decided to do John Stewart Green Lantern.
Okay.
And bro, before then I would just buy costumes at Spirit Halloween, Walmart, stuff like that. So that's not a costume you could find at any of those places. So I had to very crudely put that together. So like some Under Armour, some green fabric. It looked good. It looked good. But that was the first costume. So went out to the bars and had fun. And then I got invited to do a charity event. And snowballed from there. I got invited to do another one and another one. So going into like 2013, that's all I was doing was just different charity events every weekend. I ended up joining Facebook and then befriending like a couple of cosplayers. And they asked like, "What conventions do we go to?" Never been to one, so I went to my first convention at the end of 2013, and that was it. It was downhill. Like I found my people. It was amazing, and
Okay.
been
Okay.
hooked ever since.
Uh, Speaking of your love for Halloween dressing up, so what's the difference between? I mean, I know the quality and whatnot, but what's the difference between dressing up with the Halloween stuff or that kind of mocap, whatever that kind of stretchy outfit, versus the stuff that you actually wearing now? Like, what's the general difference between the two?
Fabric. I mean,
Fabric.
like literally, it's um again, it's gonna sound really kind of cheesy cliche, but when I say to me, cosplaying is cosplaying. I don't care if if you found some of this clothes at Goodwill, or you bought this costume off Amazon, or you got it at Walmart, or you spent hundreds of dollars and man hours making it from scratch. We're all the same. Like literally, there's no difference. A cosplayer is a cosplayer is a cosplayer. Um, for me, on a personal level, the difference is I found a love to create. Um, so I found I never knew I could make stuff like that. So I found that that's my therapy session is making costumes and doing makeup and that type of stuff. Um, so for me on a personal level, that's the difference. Is it's my therapy is actually creating things. But part of the therapy too is just putting on a costume and saying, "Oh man, I get to be this character." You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
it's more so for me. I just love to create.
Okay. Okay. So that being said, you make all your costumes.
95% yes. So to date, I have not that I'm counting, but I have like 417 costumes.
Well, I thought you were gonna shoot a low number there, but that number's pretty high.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
that's leading the question though, because one of my questions for you, just skimming, just skimming through your stuff while I'm waiting for you to join this interview. I was looking at just your videos. Like I scroll like 2 times and I see like 10 different outfits from you. So like, um, um, so do you literally got them on like a hanger or something in the closet, or like do you reuse them, or like how does it work?
So, my basement. It started off like when I very first started cosplaying. I bought these like bins from Walmart and just put them in there in like the second bedroom. And then it got to a point where I had to get a storage unit. And then it got to a point where I had to get the biggest storage unit the storage unit had. And then it got to a point where I had to buy a house. So
Damn.
now, um, in my basement, one size about 100 totes, and they're all labeled. So I try and put like 2 or 3 costumes in a tote, like bigger armor pieces and stuff like that. And then on the other side of the basement is a huge hanging rack with all the clothes. And then I have another space for all like weapons and props, and then I have my craft room that has another like huge area for weapons and props and helmets. So it's an organized mess, but
Yeah. Still, he got it down pat.
yeah,
Um, Earlier you said you was doing like charity events. So like, I guess you still do them, right?
yeah.
So
So
as a so
okay.
how's that work as a cosplayer? They were like, I'm looking for someone who dressed up as John Stewart, or they were like, oh, I'm doing this thing. Like how does it work?
It depends. It depends on the area you're in. It depends on what you're trying to do. I started doing hands-on stuff like community events, right? So over the years, like now, like local community just knows who I am, right? So whenever there's like an event and they want a costume character, they contact me. Um, I also work with Make a Wish, so like partnering with them, I got involved with them because I started fundraising. Um, Basically, what I do is at every convention I go to, so I do about 2 or 3 shows a month. Every convention I go to, I partner with a local charity, and it's fundraise for them. So, like, if I'm in Columbus, Ohio, or Los Angeles, wherever it is, I try and pick a local charity, partner with them, fundraise, raise money for them at the convention. So I give like all my autographs and prints away for free, then just ask for optional donation. So hooking up with those charities, then later I can branch off and actually do events for them. So every week I also do around McDonald houses in Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Columbus. Whether it's like hands-on going there and just visiting, or doing like Zoom visits for if I can't make it there, a weekend or something like that. So it's twofold. So I do a lot of hands-on stuff, and then also a lot of fundraising.
Okay. Um, do they request you, or they request a character?
So I get requested as Knightmage Michael Wilson for a lot of speaking engagements, like schools and just different events. They'll request me to talk about cosplay and the art and stuff like that. When it's like hospital visits and community events, then they just want a character. So like usually at Christmas time, like the Grinch is a go-to. So pretty much like all of December, that's all I'm doing is the Grinch, like every
You
weekend.
be a, you be a scary Grinch coming.
Bro,
I
listen,
don't know.
I love doing the Grinch. I hate doing the makeup, but I love doing the Grinch because I could be a total jerk to everyone, but they love it because like that's the Grinch, right? Um, so yeah, it depends. But I do Batman a lot. I do He-Man a lot. I do the Grinch a lot. Superman. So a lot of family oriented events. So it's a lot of like recognizable family friendly characters. But then
Hmm.
once in a while, like around Halloween, someone might want like a scary character, like horror character. Which those are fun too.
Okay. Um, no, the Hellspawn did He Man too. So in my eye, I ain't think. Well, I know who He Man is, but I assume younger people than me don't know. So people like
Oh, I
when
know
they
who he.
I don't know, but I can fact check tonight. I got some 21-year-old, 19-year-olds I work with, and I can ask them. They know who he is, but uh, I mean, I had a cart. I had a new cartoon and an old cartoon. I think growing up, so I'm familiar with it. But I just assumed they wouldn't know who He Man is. But are the younger people familiar with it? Like, oh, that's He Man, or they
Yeah.
just know like.
I mean, I, yes, everyone's recognized. They recognize as He-Man. I would
Mm-hmm.
say the adults usually are more like, oh yeah, that's He-Man, but
Okay, okay.
kids are more or less like, oh man, that's He-Man, cool. But the adults are the ones that it just instantly brings back that nostalgia and they get
Mm-hmm.
excited. Kids are just like
No,
excited because there's a person
the
dressed
guy
up
with
in
a
front of
sword.
me, right? He's a
With
sword.
sword.
But the adults are the ones are just like, that's my childhood.
Okay, now here's the one that I don't know if you did. Did you do Panthro?
Yeah. Here's the thing, man. And it's literally a daily thing where on every single post, it's I just have to say, already did it, already did it, already did it. Because I get so many requests of people, new followers and fans, and they're like, "Oh, have you done this character? Already did it. Have you done this character? Already did it." And so now it's like funny because like I have other fans just come in to the post and like, "Yeah, he already did it. Don't even ask. He already did."
That's funny. Have you? Okay, two questions. Have you done original character of yourself?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So the name Knightmage, where that came from, you might remember this. Do you remember a show called Who Wants to Be a Superhero?
It was a game show.
Kinda. It was called Who Wants to Be a Superhero. It was on the Sci-Fi Network, and it was hosted by Stan Lee. This was
Yeah,
back
I
in like,
remember. Yeah, yeah, I know Stan Lee. So I didn't know it was a game show. No,
yeah,
I vaguely remember it. Yeah.
okay, it was like 2006.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so it was kind of like that show Big Brother, where you got like five people to live in this house, this big house, right? And everyone had their own superhero character, right? And Stan Lee would come onto the video screen and he would say, "Okay, I want you to like go down to the store and get me a sandwich," right? And you would think that the cameras aren't watching you or anything like that, but you would go to the store and like someone would drop $100 bill in front of you, and basically the hidden camera would want to see, are you going to pick up that $100 bill and give it back? They want to see what kind of character you really are, you know. And then throughout the show, there would also be tasks like you as the superhero character would have to do certain things. Anyways, you would get voted out each week, and basically at the end of the show, the person who was left, they would have like they would draw a comic book of your character, and you would become like an official superhero of your character.
Okay.
Anyways, so the character I came up with because I love season one. It was only two seasons. Um, when they announced season two, I decided to audition for that. And the character I came up with was Knightmage. And basically, he was a cross between a Jedi Knight and Doctor Strange. And again,
Okay.
this was before I knew about cosplaying or costume making. So I just had this idea of a character in this black robe, and he was like a wizard. I had the idea in my head, but I didn't know how to make it come to life, really.
Execute. Yeah.
So anyways, I ended up auditioning and auditioned for it like three times. They kept bringing me back, so I got to be an alternate for the show. I was like a
Mm-hmm.
sixth alternate, so if like five other people died, I would have I would
You
have
gotta
become
take him
the guy.
out, man. Only can
Right.
be one.
You know what? I thought about it, but nah, it's not worth it. So anyway, yeah, I didn't end up making the show, but the name, the state, I didn't do anything with the character for years. Um, and then like in 2010, 2011, I decided to do these little cheesy like YouTube shorts of the character. So I did those, and then when I joined Facebook, I put them on Facebook, and under just the name Knightmage. So then I started cosplaying, and then once the cosplaying started blowing up, people just kind of associate me with Knightmage, and the name just, you know what I mean? It just really
Yeah.
stuck. I didn't do anything still with the character. If people have approached me like, I'd love to do a comic or I'd love to put you in this and that, I'm like, all right, cool. It just nothing's ever actually come to fruition. I revamped the costume last year because I did an episode of I did an episode of Jump Steve Harvey,
Okay.
and that's actually supposed to, hopefully it's going to air in the next month or two. But they wanted me to wear one of my costumes, so I'm like, well, what if I just wore like an original costume? Because
In the courtroom.
yeah, yeah, because they wanted something that wasn't copyrighted, right? So trademark. So I just wore Knightmage. So I kind of revamped the costume and then wore that.
Okay. Okay.
It's gonna be a silly ass episode.
Okay. 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 Uh, hopefully, hopefully you win.
Well, you know what?
You can't tell me you can't win.
Yeah,
Wait,
I
wait, wait, wait,
can't.
wait.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um, how does that even work? How does that? It's just Steve Harvey. What is that? Where's that based out of? Hollywood,
Atlanta.
Florida.
No, they film in Atlanta.
It's Atlanta.
Hmm. Yep.
Huh?
Yep.
I never heard nobody talk about it. That's wild.
Yeah.
I'm 2 hours outside of Atlanta, so yeah, I never heard nobody talk about Joe. Now, before he died, I'm from Augusta, Georgia. Jerry Springer used to come here all the time and grab people from my city for their show. So like, we probably got maybe 18 episodes of people from our city that saw
Oh,
Jerry
nice.
Springer.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Good old Jerry.
Yeah, but he used to come and grab people for your storylines.
Hmm.
Yes,
And
but
so yeah, they contacted me. They wanted to do an episode of cosplay, and a lot of the executive producers followed me, so they just kept saying, "Well, what about Knightmare? What about Knightmare?" So then, yeah, they contacted me. I'm like, they pitched it to me what they want to do and stuff, and all right,
mhm.
yeah, that sounds pretty cool. So let's do it.
Okay,
I will
okay.
say, the only thing I can say is I kind of made Steve Harvey a little bit mad.
Uh oh.
Yeah,
And I was gonna ask you, did you meet him and did you like it? But oh.
yeah, I made him mad. Now he was cool, but I surprised him with something because I ended up cosplaying him.
Oh, you had toupee?
Nah, I did a bald look. I did a bald look, but um, I ended up doing a couple different things because I told the producers, I'm like, what if I came dressed as Steve Harvey? And they're like, well, come as your original character, but you can still like do some pictures as Steve. So I was like, all right, cool. So I did just like some real like slick, dress down Steve looking stuff, like bright colors and so look good. But then also he years ago he did a photo shoot, and it was a shirtless photo shoot, but it was for charity. It was like a calendar to raise money, right?
Hmm.
So he did like this whole shirtless, photo shoot. He was all greased up and stuff, and he just got roasted online for it, right? So after the thing, after the photo shoot and stuff, he tried to scrub the internet of it, right? Internet, don't forget. So
Yeah.
I ended up recreating the photo shoot, the shirtless photo shoot, and greased up with the mustache, and I made these big fake teeth, these big white teeth, man. So, anyways, he didn't know about it. So when we went to the show, he's like, well, let me see some photos. Like, how
Uh
good are you?
oh.
So I'm showing him photos, and the last photos of the shirtless photo shoot, man, he looked at his producer. He's like, "You're fucking fired." He was so mad. He was so mad. But yeah, he was cool about it at the end, but it shocked him. It shocked him.
Oh man, that's dope. That's dope. Um, when you go to conventions, I'm as a guest or just as a patron or whatever. Uh, do you do the whole 3 days or you do one day or?
So, um, when I first started doing conventions back like in 2013, I did about a year worth of just conventions as an attendee because I was just having so much fun, and this is a new thing. I'm like, I gotta go to all these. I gotta go to Otakon. I gotta go to Katsucon. I gotta go to New York. I gotta go everywhere, right? And then the following year is when I started guesting. I started getting invited to like judge costume contests, stuff like that.
Hmm.
Since like the end of 2013, it's been nonstop. When I say I do like 2 to 3 shows a month, I've been doing 2 to 3 shows a month since 2013. It's
Now,
crazy. Um,
on them
and so,
multiple day ones, do you change outfits or you
oh
keep the
yeah,
same one?
no, I will always take multiple costumes. And conventions are all different. Some are 2 days, some are one day. The one I'm doing next weekend is 4 days.
Ooh.
Um, so I do one different costume a day, and I kind of have a rule where if it's like a 3 day convention, right? Let's say 3 days or 2 days. If it's more than one day, I always like to do at least one day that's makeup centric to show makeup looks. I always like to do one day that's like foam, like armor to show the armor, and I like to do one that's kind of fabric to show like sewing. So I kind
Okay.
of I I look at it as a privilege. Like there's so many cosplayers out there who would love to like guest and travel and do all this stuff. I look at it as a privilege. It is a job. It's 100% a job, but to me it's a privilege. So I really don't want to take I don't want to say an easy route and just do easy costumes and just kind of I really want to showcase like why I belong to be there, why I belong to judge this costume kind of why it's like kind of going to a tattoo artist. Like, do you really want to go to a tattoo artist that has no tattoos?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you kind of want to go to someone who understands and you can trust, right? So that's kind of the way I look at it.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And I guess
Um.
that's another reason why I challenge myself in everything. Like I want to learn makeup. I want to learn 3D paint. I want to learn sewing. I want to learn armor. I want to learn thermoplasts. I want to have a little bit of knowledge of everything. And I'll never be the best at anything, but at least I'll have a knowledge and understanding and confidence in everything.
Hmm. What's easier to work with? 3D print, cardboard, or foam?
Phone, phone. So again, I love working with my hands. 3D printing is great, but to me, 3D printing is limited as far as bulky pieces. Like great 3D printing is great for like small, intricate pieces. Excuse me, but it's just not practical for me at least. For like bigger armor pieces, right? Cardboard, it's easier to work with, but you're still limited on what you can do with it. With foam, I love working with foam because again, it's easy to work with, it's cheap, it's very expensive, but then also I can stuff it in a suitcase. I can stuff it into luggage and storage and stuff. I know it's gonna bounce back. You know what I mean? So the longevity of foam, that's what I love about it. But then also it's comfortable and it's fun to work
Okay. Okay. Um. And so I never been to conventions. I started going to conventions last year for the first
with.
time, and I cosplay as my comic book character just to get my character out there somehow.
Yeah,
Backwards marketing. Take pictures of other cosplayers. Just get me out there.
that's the way
But
to do it.
MomoCon,
Mhm.
me and my girl, we dressed up as two characters from Seven Deadly Sins. Uh, she was Diane. I was can't think of the name. Harley Quinn.
Okay.
Uh, and she bought her outfit. She bought everything. She well, actually her hammer's not right here by my foot. But she bought the hammer, the wig, the boots, the skirt. She bought everything. Uh, with me, I bought just the general outfit because it's like onesie leotard type thing.
Mhm.
But everything else I made. Um, and going back to 3D print. So I was there's people I know they got a 3D printer. And I was like, let's give them the model, and they print it for me for cheap. Like I shoot them 25, $50, and it was for his helmet,
Mhm.
and I never got the helmet from them because they said that helmet like messed up like
Uh,
5 times before the event. It was going to MomoCon, and I had to buy a Viking hat, some kind of cow Viking hat from the Party City, and I had to spray paint it, the silver color or whatever. But what got me, the finishing color was different from the paint color. So when I finished the hat, it was a darker gray than I needed to be, and I was so mad.
yeah.
Yeah. Then the shoes, I bought some rain boots, and I cut it up so everything's right in the buttons, whatever. I didn't put the first time I painted it, I didn't put the finish on there. So when I start walking, everything cracked. So painted again. I put the finishing on there, and I still had the buttons on there. The buttons for, I guess, the buttons for the shoes.
Okay.
But that was still on the original paint. So walking through the MomoCon, I feel something just keep clacking my leg. Like, what is that? The buttons peeling from the paint. It's like a bootstrap now. I was like, oh man. So every time I took a picture of somebody, I try to keep my shoes out of it.
Yeah.
But I got mixed feelings about MomoCon for different reasons. But one thing, people were so excited to see the character I was from the show, and for me being black doing it, and also not many people doing it. Like we saw one other character from the show. People told us the main character, Micheal was there, but we never saw him. We just saw a Bond, and we took a picture with him, so we got a group picture with him. But like, nobody else doing it, so we was like, we took a lot of pictures, like, because we the only ones. But I seen how they make people excited to see a character they like, or take pictures, or seeing somebody the same color as them doing it, and feel excited. But it was just wow. But at the same time, at MomoCon, I discovered like from the cosplayer as well, like people feel some type of way when we cosplay as a character that we ain't supposed to, type thing. I felt a lot of that too.
Yes, there is a lot of that. I mean, there's a lot of gatekeeping on a lot of different sides, right? But it boils down to you're doing this not for them. You're doing this for you. And you're doing it for the people that are inspired by you and the people that are excited to see you, right? You can't please everyone. It doesn't matter. Like, man, like I get hate. I mean, it's the internet. You're gonna get it, but I get hate every single day, and every single post. It doesn't matter what it is. There's someone, someone's gonna say something stupid, right? But it's not for them. It's for it's for the 100 cool, positive comments and supportive comments. That's what it's about. That's what I focus on, and kind of that's what really cosplayers have to focus on. Is you're going to get hate for whatever reason, but there's way more support and love out there than anything else. And so the feeling that you got seeing the people really happy to see your character and seeing you cosplay as a character, stuff like that. That's what it's about. That 100%. And what you just did, what you did with that, 100%. Even if I don't care what your following is or how your social stats or whatever. You being out there and doing that type of stuff is inspiring someone else, whether it's a store-bought costume or handmade costume, whatever. You're inspiring someone. Like someone's saying, "Oh my God, like that's awesome." That means I can kind of do that too, right? So you're inspiring someone. And I don't know. That's to me. That's what it's about. That's why I focus.
Yeah. I want to do a bishop one, but I don't know. I don't know if people like a skinny bishop.
Bro, listen, man, listen. Here's the thing. So we already talked. I do over 400 different costumes, right?
Yeah.
ranging from man,
Laura Croft.
ranging from Laura Croft to the Hulk to Nightwing to Link, Legend of Zelda
Mhm.
to
Yeah, I want to do.
Elvira.
I want to do a Link. I want to do Link too. I want to do Link.
The thing with these characters is you take any character, I don't care what character you think of.
Hmm.
Take Batman. Just take Batman. Batman has been drawn 20 million different ways, depending on the artist, director, actor. He's been seen, big, small, old, young, different costumes, whatever. It just depends on who is doing it at the time, right? Cosplayers are fan art, fan artists. It's your fan art. There is no reason why Batman can't look like you on an alternate another Earth. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no definitive like Batman. Batman is literally just your whoever's interpretation at that time. So it's your fan art. There's no wrong way to do fan art. So that's why, to me, no character is off limits. Like I will not never say no to a character as long as I think I'm gonna have fun. That's my only caveat. Like I only make things that I think I'm gonna enjoy making, but I will never just say no because oh I don't look like the character or I don't fit that character. Nah. Like my job as a cosplayer is not to really replicate someone else's vision of a character. My job as a cosplayer is to make everyone believe that character always looked like me.
Okay.
So yeah, go for it. Do it.
Yeah, I like that. I like that concept you said. Yeah, the cosplayer could be that character in a different universe.
That's
I
it.
like
Yeah.
that concept. I like that concept. Yeah,
That's all it is. That's all it is. And I
yeah, I
think
like that.
that's a concept that I think a lot of people are starting to kind of realize, especially like with the whole Marvel movies variant thing, got that, that kind of opened your eyes to like, man, there's multiple universes out there. How come, Batman isn't like that on that Earth and that Earth and that, so yeah, always just remember that. Always remember that.
All right. As a cosplayer, you might know, but a couple events they try to do the world record and the most Spider Man in the convention.
Yeah.
You seen yeah, and just your whole concept. All the different Spider Mans there is, fat ones, short ones, tall ones, short ones, you know,
That's it. That's
yes,
the whole thing right there. Right.
yeah. So yeah, that breaks that down to me.
Right. I mean, it's like
That
the
puts in
Spider Verse.
perspective. Yeah,
It's literally the Spider Verse. Like it is just a cosplay is literally just a giant Spider Verse. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. Well, that's it for that segment.
Yeah.
Moving my next segment is called digging in the crates,
Yeah.
and you dig in the old vinyls, find some old Prince CDs and whatnot,
Yeah.
or you go find some old Ninja Turtles comic books. So I can dig through this interview and find some information. That I'll touch on. So
I feel like you're googling right now. You're googling me to
oh
dig
no,
up
I got
the.
no, not Google, but saying you like to dress up and whatnot. Have you done any, or have you want to do any kind of film work or something like that?
Yeah. So I've done stunt work in movies. I've done quite a few Marvel movies, stunt work.
Okay.
As far as like straight acting, no. Um, I never really got into it. Never thought about it. Like I said, the day job was all it was. Up until I would say 2017, 2018, it was just straight my day job, straight, my career just as a deputy. That was it. It wasn't until about 2018 when I'm like cosplaying and I'm doing really good with that and start getting offers to do other stuff. I'm like, huh, like, man, I can actually maybe branch out and start doing other stuff. And I never really thought about going that avenue. Um, so I never really, pursued anything like that. Now looking at it, I wish I would have, because there was a lot of opportunities I passed up just because I was either too afraid or just thought I wasn't experienced enough. But I've kind of guarded the mentality of a closed mouth never gets fed, right? So
Yeah.
always speak up, always go for those opportunities because you never know. Um, so yeah, doing a lot more stuff now. This year, hopefully I can get in the ring. So I told you I'm a huge wrestling fan.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be a wrestler. Like being like growing up, that's what I want to do. I want to be a wrestler. But again, just never got into it. Didn't know where to go or train or anything like that. Um, so now I do have an opportunity to get in the ring. So now it's a matter of just like buckling down and really training and finding the time to train to do it. And
Okay.
I mean, like I said, man, I'm 44. I'm not getting any younger. So I think this year's gonna happen.
Okay. What's your character Knightmage? You never thought about doing a book with it?
I have. It's again, it's one of those things where I gotta sit down with someone, someone I can trust and someone I know can that I can say, listen, I have these ideas in my head. Can you put it to paper for me? Can you draw this out for me? Stuff like that. Um, so I have, and again, I've gotten offers. Um,
Gotta be something. Gotta
that's
make
really,
sense.
yeah. It's got to make good business sense. I gotta play it smart. But I have thought about it, and I think it's going to happen. I think it's seriously going to happen. It's going to come to fruition. It's just a matter of the right time and just really, again, sitting down, buckling down, and doing it.
Okay. 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 All right. That's all I got. You got any advice for upcoming, cosplayers? What to
Yeah,
do?
man.
They want to.
You know what? Kind of goes back to you could be anyone. Don't limit yourself. Like, honestly, the worst thing you could do is limit yourself and think that you can't do something or you shouldn't do something. And it's a difference between doing something because you don't have fun, not doing something because you're not going to have fun with it, versus not doing something because you're told you can't. So I'm just going to give this as an example. Spider-Man is one of my favorite characters. I love Spider-Man. When I first started, I bought a Spider-Man costume, was doing the charity events. Listen, I'm 6 foot, 260 pounds. All right, that's a big Spider-Man, right? That's a pretty
Big
big
spider.
Spider-Man.
Big
That's a
spider.
big, that's a tarantula, brother. Like that's, um. So I had fun. The kids had fun. The adults had fun. Everyone loved it, right? It got to a point, doing it. I just didn't feel comfortable in that Spider-Man suit no more. It wasn't because someone you know teased me or made fun of me or just said I couldn't do it because I was too big. I personally just did not feel comfortable in that suit no more. And here's the thing: since I still do characters that are probably smaller than Spider-Man in stature, like seen traditionally, smaller in stature and stuff, I feel I'm fine with that. Just specifically as Spider-Man, I personally didn't feel comfortable, so I don't do it no more. And that's the difference. Like do things, but if you don't feel comfortable doing something, don't do it. But make sure it's because you don't want to do it and not be because someone told you can't do it. There's a big difference. So yeah, don't
Okay.
limit yourself. And man, always challenge yourself. Don't box yourself in a corner, and it kind of still goes on the same lines. Don't limit yourself, but cosplayers, man, we're amazing. We're amazing. Like you look at Hollywood, and they have man. You go on set, they have the makeup artists, they got the seamstress, they got the costume designers, the costume dressers, they got the wig stylists. Uh, they have the people teaching you your lines and stuff like that. Us cosplayers, man, we're making videos in our basement. We're styling our own wigs. We're doing our own makeup. We're doing this and that, and we're doing it in our basement. On a budget, not nowhere near anything, Hollywood level. So we're special, man. We don't give ourselves enough credit in how much creativity and how much passion we have for it. So yeah, don't limit yourself. Don't sell yourself short, and always know that you're inspiring someone. You're inspiring another generation.
Cool. Cool. That's dope, man. That's dope. And where can people follow you on your journey and catch you at some events?
Yeah. So on my website, knightmage.org, I always have like all my guest appearances and stuff. I'm always updating that. The only thing I don't put on those are like charity events. Those are typically like closed private, but um, you can go on my social media. I'm posting usually a couple times a day on all the socials. So Facebook, Knightmage, Instagram, Knightmage 100, TikTok Knightmage, Immiger, Knightmage 15. So yeah, I'm on all the socials. So hit me up there. If you ever have any questions, need some advice, just want to talk, just hit me up.
All right, cool. And thanks for coming on, man. It's been great. Great to finally
Oh,
meet you, man.
likewise, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Mhm.